Okay, on the fourth game of this Arena League. And I might have thrown the last game a little bit by entirely forgetting one of my character's skills existed. But we don't dwell on that. Instead, we mulligan to make sure we have the Nahida talent card, a Liben, and a Sealy just for fun as well. That's pretty good. Okay, obviously I just want Electro Dice, turn 1, every time as always. And unfortunately we didn't really get that. Interesting. Well, we're going to have to junk some cards. I guess it's just got to be exactly these two. Ooh, it's painful. Alright, making sure I leave the right dice for Lieben to use later. Shouldn't really matter exactly at this stage. Oh, I forgot to pay the Sealy again. Alright. Well, that will just slow me down a tiny bit. Now, given how many pyro dice I had, there was definitely an argument you could make to using those with Zhangling at this stage, or rather than going for the Lieben line. But next turn I really want to start having some legendary dice for Nahida as well. And I want to draw towards having a way to get some more energy onto Nahida too, in an ideal world. Well, the dice gods are not being kind right now. Oh, there you go. They decided. They had some pity in them after all. Okay. So, yeah, that makes me feel a lot better. Obviously, I'm just using the skill on Zhangling here. This is what I, forgot to do in my last game. It was pretty bad. Like my Saki, you only have 2 characters if you do that. So, I didn't really talk about Wayne's deck. Wayne's playing an interesting sort of Hyper Bloom deck here. And they've got a lot of support cards in the mana on. I have to think a little bit about the parametric transformer here. Whenever a side uses a skill, if it ain't mental damage, it gains progress. Now, quite interesting, if they use their own skill here, and I use mine back, they'll have that available. But I don't think my options here are especially flexible. So I'm just going to take the option I do have, which is to switch over here to Nahida, and then aim to just use Nahida's burst here. Oh, not burst, but her hold skill specifically. The reason this deck is strong, at least in theory, is how strong this ability is. It deals 3 damage, but then the Cedar Scant is applied. It applies 2 to all opponent's characters. So if you're triggering all of those, that's 2 to each, that's 6 damage plus the 3. So this is 9 damage, this skill. And that's absurd. Obviously you need to actually activate all these, use the Scander, but the ceiling is there in terms of the power level. There's a really interesting possibility I have here actually. Fortunately I can't really enable it. If I had thought a little bit harder last turn, I could have swapped to Raiden and then back to Nahida to use Nahida's ability. To be different basic elemental dice. It's probably fine to let him have that. But is it? I think I'm going to have to. I'll get turn priority next turn, so that's the upside of this. And if it's just 3 random basic elemental dice, they'll probably feed into his Leben. Yeah, this is definitely a mistake from me. Good play would have been to switch to Raiden and then to Nahida. Oh! Well, I'm getting a bit rewarded, funnily enough. This is very interesting. I'm going to want to hope to draw a defensive option next turn. But if opponent's just playing slowly with burst on Cook for me here, that's actually not a problem at all. Oh, yeah, that's what I have. So I was over focusing on a couple of things here. So having killed the character who had the full energy for burst, I'm feeling pretty good here. Especially seeing as these units return to go off. This is going to be my turn to really make things happen. Making things happen really just means get a bunch of Dendro dice. Ooh, the Dendro dice up. That's one more. So 3 functionally at the moment. I'm going to have to use the toss up and cross my fingers. And it's interesting, of course, because I did trigger the number of reactions needed to use all those Caesar Scanter already. Can I do 5 plus 3? Well, only if I get extremely lucky. It's Bloom. That's one a bit more damage. Alright. Time to get always lucky. There's many Dendro and Omni dice. Okay, there's 1 Omni die. See if we can get another couple. Still. That's something. We go 3 plus 3, I'm left with 2. Maybe for Narukami Shrine. Which would be pretty nice actually. And that's probably better than using the hold ability. And not developing the shrine. Yep. I also might draw something here. Let's see. Okay, opponent really doesn't have much threat on my Nahida here. There's no way to steal 5 from their deck. Okay, so obviously I want to use this talent skill. These Paimons are just too slow here. Just way too slow. Laban would be okay, but I'm only going to have 2 left, so the decision is going to be the Sangonomiya Shrine next turn. Which is why I tuned the extra die to leave me with the Omni die, so I'd have 2 of the same elements. Well, opponent appears to be slightly dead here. Perhaps not literally dead, since this will leave Raiden on 1. But thanks to... yeah. I end up with a Catalyze. And Nahila Sodo with a Hyper Bloom Seed is feeling pretty sad for the opponent when all my characters basically on full life. This is usually where I would go back to Zhangling. So I'll look for Pyro Dice. The reason to go back to Zhangling here is because Xiangling Summon does the most damage in the shortest amount of time, and triggers Burning, which is the most valuable reaction. I suppose the reason to go to Raiden Shogun is if I lose a character, I will just... Yeah, if one of my characters dies, I'll just go to Raiden Shogun, use Haven't Lost Yet, and attempt to kill my opponent with that burst. But at this point, opponent's kind of doomed. A bit more damage. Normal attacks. But it's not looking great for them. I could just do Raiden. I've got the Catalyze here. Alright, let's just try to... This is probably safer, but everything... There's several ways to win here. Quickest way to win would be to go to Raiden, skill, burst, and then probably lethal at the end of turn. But this is safe in the sense that it's the most damage over time, and I don't know. I don't know how my opponent will get out of this anyway. This is literally just lethal here. Okay, so an easy win for this one. On to the next.